If you've been following my channel, you know that I recently started going back to film school. Or I recently, not like I went back. I finally went to film school. I wanted to enhance my skills and work on becoming a full-time cinematographer and a director. The one thing that I didn't anticipate in my plan, because I'm not somebody who, I'm someone whom when I think of something, I do it. I'm like, we'll figure it out because it seems impossible, before you do it. It really looks impossible. Like, how am I going to achieve this? How am I going to afford this? Like, I ran into a lot of questions that I asked myself before making the decision to go to film school. Like, how was I going to do this? This video is not a video of look how I did it, look how successful I am. This is a reality check for me and hopefully something that you guys can learn from. I find myself looking in the mirror every day wondering, how am I going to make it through the next day? How am I going to, like sometimes I don't really know. I would check it back to, let's start it back. So the school that I go to is like it has an intensive program whereby you have to be at school 9 to 5 every single day, and sometimes you shoot on weekends. What that has done for my life is it's reshaped the way that I lived. Prior to that, being a YouTuber was my full-time gig. I did other work and stuff like that, so my life was pretty smooth sailing. But ever since I've been there, life hasn't been that. It hasn't been smooth sailing. The education is expensive. At first I thought I was wasting money, I was wasting time, because I was learning things that I knew. We were talking about things such as aperture, things such as ISO. I have videos of that on my channel, and these were things that we were learning, and that was within the first month. Now that we just finished the second month, I've started learning new things that I didn't know, things such as lighting, things such as directing, how to write a script, which has been very beneficial to me. I feel like most of the fees that I have to pay for that school, I've already gotten a lot of their value within the second month. So, to answer that debate that people almost have, like, is it worth going to film school? I think it depends on your situation. If you have mentors, if you have access to people with information, maybe it's not. But for me, the past month is justified why I'm in the school. However, my personal life hasn't meshed with it, because what happens is when you're in school, you're not really earning money, you start eating within your savings, and then things just started looking weird. So I found myself asking the question, why am I doing this? Why do I do this? And fundamentally, the thing for me is I've felt that my calling has been in storytelling, like making films and working within some form of in the entertainment industry. I've just not had that break that I feel like I need to pursue what I want to pursue, because I've always felt like, oh, when I do this, maybe this will blow up and that will help me progress. But a lot of times it hasn't. Like, things haven't worked out the way that I think they would. Like, when I started this YouTube channel, I was banking on it to blow up and being able to, like, okay, I'll do this and then use the money that I make from this to pay for my film school, which reality, it hasn't. Things haven't worked the way that I thought they would. They've actually gone the opposite way, and that's what brings us to this video. The first thing that has happened in my first 2 months in film school is I've begun to lose who I was, the person that I was, the kid that had the big dreams, who wanted to go to school to learn skills and to enhance himself, to become more valuable within society. I began to lose that guy. I became more depressed in the past month. If you look at my channel, I was posting almost every day. I stopped posting because life just became too tough for me in the sense that you're trying to balance school and balance life, and it just seems impossible. Like, at every turn, it felt as if something was just there to stop it. Like, it's like the more you try to progress, the more life just throws things at you to be like, nah, this will not work. But the one thing that I've done is I've looked in the mirror and realized that this is the dream. A lot of times we live our life waiting for a moment or an opportunity that would define our lives for why we do what we do. But for me, I realized that going through what I've been going through is the dream. This is the dream that I've always had. I've always wanted to be a director. I've always wanted to be a cinematographer. And I get to do that now. I get to learn from DPs that have worked in the industry. I get to learn from directors. I get to be around people who are pursuing the same things as I do, and this is the story being written. And so the more that I felt as if I was losing who I was losing myself because, you know, if you're dealing with a situation whereby you have to pay a lot of money to do something, money takes away the joy. It takes away, like, when the money is not there, the joy that comes with creativity is gone because money sort of like determines what you're able to do, right? And I've gone through that journey in the past few months when I'm like, damn, man, who am I? I would say this second thing that I've gone through is just realizing the cost. The cost of education is expensive, man. You don't really appreciate it when you're not paying for it, when you have your parents paying your fees and stuff like that. I feel like for me, I never truly appreciated my school run until I finished because I have a master's degree, and through all that, I wasn't responsible for any of my fees. It's only now that I'm pursuing film that the buck stops with me. I have to pay for my tuition. I have to pay for my books. I have to look after me. And I've realized that this thing actually costs a lot, just the education and then the cost of living. And you're looking at it and we have this inflation going high. I don't come on this channel to cry to you. It's just to tell you the reality of what it's like to pursue your dreams and goals. There is a cost to it, and a financial cost, something that sometimes I feel on a month-to-month basis where you're like, I don't really know where my rent is going to come from. I don't really know how I'm going to pay these fees, but somehow I have to figure it out. And I'm starting to realize this is adulting. Another thing that I never thought would happen in my life is running out of money. I'm someone who's really organized. You've seen my videos, how I planned on becoming a millionaire. I'm someone who's lived his life based off of principles. But the past month, because of the investments and stuff like that, I've seen my cash dwindle. And I was like, damn, man, this is depressing. Like, when you watch your bank account go in the negatives, you're like, whoa, what are we doing here? Like, am I sure? Do I really want to do this? I don't sit here, I'm someone who believed in the term that if you're going to bet on someone, you might as well bet on yourself. And I've realized, like, that statement can also be misleading because you are not that person. You know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, there's a lot of development that has to come to whereby you're willing to bet on yourself, but you have to understand yourself, how far you're willing to go. And for me, I've realized that when I run out of money, I lose my motivation because everything just feels bleak, whereby you're like, man, how am I going to get my next meal? How am I going to do this? Why do I even do this? Like, I can just go and get a regular job and let this stuff go because it's not worth the price. When you look at film industry, it's not everybody who succeeds, but the cost to even try is like ridiculously high. The one thing that I've sort of learned in the past few months as I've gone through all these moments of reality checks is you never know what the future may bring, and the goal is to keep pursuing and to keep pushing. Like, I've started this journey. I know I'm still early. Constantly you're told about people who drop out, but I understand why they do. I understand the pressure that comes with trying to pursue your goals. And for me, I used to live with the motivation that I'm doing this so that other people can find someone to look into. But I'm starting to realize I do this, man, because it's in my nature not to give up. My mom always told me that we finish what we started, no matter how difficult, no matter how impossible. And that's what we do. That's my belief system, is you don't give up. You don't give up on your goals. You don't give up on who you are. You really never know what the future may bring. But for me, what I know is I'm going to try. I'll try to be one of the best directors ever. And I know the sacrifices and the things that I have to do to achieve that. I make this video just for you guys to realize when you're trying to pursue your goals or pursue your dreams, at a certain point, you have to face reality, but you also have to be willing to be like, okay, it is what it is. We'll deal with the situation as it arises. Who knows what tomorrow can bring, but I'll be ready when tomorrow comes, right? It hasn't been all roses, but I've learned a lot. Is film school worth it? Listen, I don't know. I'll only know when we are done. I'll only know in the future. But for the skills that I've learned so far, I would say it's been worth it for me. So yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join me on this journey. I'll be sharing more with you. I have nothing to sell you. I have nothing to hide. I'm just here to relay my journey with you guys. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll be seeing you in the next one.